It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hello guys, good afternoon. 9th of July 2019. It's 2 p.m. CET, so meaning that New York is open. Of course, we are waiting for a New York cash open within the next 1.5 hours. Okay, but before that happen, don't forget, within the next 45 minutes, we are going to have Powell's speech, and that might be key market driver for today. It makes poor volatility. If we are going to add that it's a summer holiday, beginning of summer holiday, the liquidity is a little bit thinner, a little bit lower than usual. So in that case, higher volatility is possible. Anyway, let's start with risk warning, guys. Please bear in mind, trading effects on margin trading, crypto on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for investors who can sustain a loss of some or all initial investments. So please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Okay. What happened during the London session? Actually, to be honest with you, nothing extraordinary. Dollar was a little bit stronger. We had Italian retail sales, ugly number, minus 0.7 versus 0.2 market expectations. And 2 hours ago, we also got US small businesses index, 103.3 versus 103.2 expectations, 105 the previous one. So better than expectations, weaker than the last one. Overall, we've got a little bit risk of sentiment with strong dollar, lower indices. Yeah, actually, really it's gonna be interesting what's going to happen after the Powell. Within the next 10 minutes, we are going to connect with Michał again. We are going to have a short conversation. What the expectations might be, right? So first thing first, let's get back to trying to connect with dollar index. Just 1 second, guys, please. Just 1 second. Hopefully I'm not gonna mix things up. Looks, yes. Okay, so that's the dollar index. And if you remember what we were discussing from intraday perspective, what we were discussing this morning, right? 1 second. Just a friendly reminder before we connect with Michał. The thing is that taking into the consideration what happened here with this huge drop, I didn't cancel what we have here to the right. All right. I like to have these things in place, especially when we are during the meeting in the future. We are going back to what we discussed already, right? So taking into the consideration what we have here with this huge drop, all right? So what I've been pointing out this morning, right? That what we have, we had a space to hit the high, post non-farm payrolls high, towards 97.60 to create nice over under 97.60. 97.70 cannot be rolled out as well. But look, guys, almost to the peep. 97.60 been hit. There was a one nice little rejection, retest, and another rejection. Now, that's tell us nothing yet, but in case market is going to be able to get back below post non-farm payrolls high, that might be the first sign that there is some kind of the profit taking from long dollars going on, and such a move may expose pre non-farm payrolls low, right? And if you remember what we were discussing based on the weekly chart, where we are, right? That might be the case that the final fight between bulls and bears on dollar index gonna take place around the pre non-farm payrolls low. Okay, what else besides Powell we have? Within the next 7 minutes, housing starts in Canada, 2:30 building permits in Canada, but that's not that important, taking into the consideration that we do have Bank of Canada tomorrow. That's what market is waiting for right now. Of course, we are going to cover that event tomorrow, right? And then we have few more Fed speakers. We do have 10:04 p.m. CET. We do have a Bullard, and that might be the key driver as well. If you remember last Bullard speech when he said that his call for 50 basis point cut was overdone and the dollar reaction, well, he might easily make the turnaround on dollar, saying that okay, it was not overdone, let's call it 50 basis point cut again. All right, well, that's gonna be interesting as well. So going back to intraday chart here on dollar index, so that's what I'm gonna look for here around the Powell speech. Let's clean the chart a bit. Okay, so it might be some kind of this type of the price action. So either we'll move back straight or we'll try to create on a smaller time frame some kind of the head and shoulders around current level with rejection. Let's have a look what we have on a smaller time frame here. I'm not sure if we are going to have enough time right now, but maybe after one of the breaks, but for sure we are going to cover Canadian dollar ahead of the Bank of Canada tomorrow, so no worries about the long-term view. For sure we are going to cover. So that's 10-minute chart, nice engulf. That was the attempt to move higher, so I can see some kind of the supply here. And let's have a look on a 3-minute chart. Yeah, same stuff. All right, so let's switch back to the MT4. And in that case, let's have a look what we have in terms of the euro dollar. and here we are inside the big, based on the daily chart, big and wide possible demand zone, right, based on this drop, base rally to the upside. So we are right now, we broke through yesterday low, we're trying to recover a bit. The low is 1180 or a little bit below 1180. That's the whole possible demand zone here, right? Let's switch back to the 1 hour chart, and as we discussed this morning, the levels related to this pre-non-farm high as a key from the bull's perspective to try to neutralize, to try to cancel the bearish view. Because okay, again, we might see some kind of the rally of that level right now, okay, because of where we are, some kind of the profit taking, but then we have to close. The best thing is to close the day, even better to be at the end of the week to be above these levels. We are talking about the payrolls, right? If that's going to happen after the Powell, then we are going to have Powell's speech as the oh, sorry, I missed the word. Yeah, it's gonna be the reaction after the Powell, and if we are going to be able to go above this pre-NFP high, that's gonna be the market takeaway after the Powell speech is stronger than what happened after the non-farm payrolls, right? Okay, let's try to connect with Michał. Let's try to discuss the possibility of the outcome from the Powell, right? One moment, please, while we are trying to connect with Michał. Hi Michał, good afternoon, how are you doing?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm fine. And you?
Good. All good here.
Okay.
All good here.
Perfect.
Listen, are we going to talk about the Powell, or you have something else as well? No, just Powell, I think, right?
Oh, just Powell. As you mentioned before, there's data from Canada, but tomorrow there are more important news.
Yeah, definitely. Bank of Canada rate decision. Yeah. So, what do you think about the Powell? What's going to happen? Because we all know he's under strong pressure from the White House. What's your way of thinking? Is he going to be strong and stand his way, Fed way, as showing the independency, or what may happen? What do you think?
I think that as I mentioned before, he will not bend over the pressure from the Trump side. We have the FOMC meeting at the end of the month, and already there are polls from various of the guys of the analyst investing companies, that they already almost several has 100% are sure that the Fed will cut the rates at the end of the month. So I guess he will not be so, as we can say, at the moment he will not be. He will not try to show. Or he will, like you mentioned before, to bend over the pressure or not. I think it will be not so. This meeting will be not very important from the market perspective. It will not cause any significant moves. I guess it will be he will not try yet. He will wait out how market will sell the matter, and how Donald Trump will try to if he sees his reaction that he is like not reacting, not responding to his tweets, to his threats. So I guess he will wait, he will pass that.
Okay.
And he will wait from the Trump reaction.
Okay.
That's my point of view. And as you already seen, the all major indices from US, Dow Jones, S&P, and Nasdaq were falling from the morning, awaiting the Powell speech. Dollar is like very strong against pound. Pound is already collapsing against dollar, and I guess till now it will not cause any significant. But maybe it may also look like they are already done the move, and they will have like
profit taking.
Profit taking, and you very often say that they will have excuse for the bigger move.
Yeah, exactly. Michał, I'm sorry. In the meantime, we got the Canadian housing starts, and it's much better than what market was expecting. We got 245.7. Estimation was 210. Previous one was revised to 196.8. So it was lower. This one we have a higher. So we will see tomorrow what's gonna be the Canadian dollar reaction after the Bank
Nothing
of Canada.
Special. If you look at the chart, also they didn't bother.
To react. We will switch now. One more question. Do you think that we may expect, if let's say if Powell is neutral, if Powell is not going to communicate the rate cut, do you think can we expect some activity, Twitter activity from the Mr. President Trump side immediately after the speech, you think?
That I had in the back of my mind. That's what you just said. That I think we can expect that, and it's like like a sport. One way to another, they will try to show who is stronger. But as I mentioned before, I think that the Powell will. We know that Trump. He's a showman. Sometimes he just has to feel his ego. Show that made a bad face for a good game, or on another side.
Opposite, right?
Yes. So I guess it will look like that, and as you mentioned, if he doesn't say anything about the rate cuts, any predictions, or any specific like sentence that could relate to the next decision, I guess also the market, as I told in the morning, it will not be. They will not react like with the higher volatility or something, or strong move one way up or down.
All right, Michał, it was a pleasure for us to listen to you. As far as I remember, we got another connection tomorrow morning. Am I right?
Yes, of course.
So thank you very much. All the best for you. Good luck during the New York session, and we are going to back to check the charts.
And same for all other guys over here in the webinar. Yeah, take care.
Take care. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much, Michał. So we are back and we are going to check what may happen. We will try to build possibilities of the moves after the Trump speech. Actually, Michał got a little bit different view than mine. I do expect some kind of the volatility, so we will see. The thing is, what Michał pointed out, it was very good point, that maybe today's morning dollar gains was based on the, okay, let's push dollar higher ahead of the Powell, and then eventually there are gonna be time to cover longs to take the profit in case of any kind of the disappointment from the dollar bulls perspective. Now the thing is, I've been thinking a bit, okay, it might be the political game. Powell may want to show some kind of the independency, Fed independency, but on the other hand, he may try to use completely different factors to try to weaken the dollar a bit. That could be the case. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. That could be the case. So we are still, when we are talking about the euro dollar, we are still inside the big possible demand zone based on the daily chart. On the other hand, we are below this week opening level. We are below yesterday low, and as you can see here on the hourly chart right now, we were trying for over the last 4 hours. We are trying to get back above this Monday low, and as of now, let me put the zone here. Okay. And you see this green dotted line, right? That's yesterday low. So for over 4 hours right now, we are below yesterday low. That doesn't look good right now from the bulls perspective. But again, really to try to neutralize this whole dollar strength, we have to get back in regards to euro dollar. We have to get back above pre-non-farm payrolls high, and overall dollar index has to get back below pre-non-farm payrolls low, right? Dollar index. So in that case, that's how I see the things here on euro dollar. Also, Michał mentioned that the pound, there is a huge sell-off going on pound, but it might not be only related to the strong dollar. It might be the whole negativity in relation to the Brexit mess and stuff like this. We do have quite important meeting from the Ireland perspective in relation to the no-deal Brexit. That's the one thing, right? That's the one thing. The second thing is, the next thing is that we have GDP, and we are going to cover this GDP live. We are waiting for the next Canadian data. So let's have a look what is going on Canadian dollar and what may happen after the data ahead of the Bank of Canada tomorrow. So what we have here on the Canadian dollar, over the course of the previous week, we've seen a little bit more sell-off. So we almost retest psychological 130 level. Of course, post non-farm payrolls, there was a Friday spike to the upside with a little bit of the rejection, right, around 31.50. We are trying to recover since yesterday, continue, and we are retesting this spike high, post non-farm payrolls high in relation to USD CAD right now, and that's I would say that that's the significant level over here. So let's place some lines. That's significant level from the daily chart perspective, right? So in that case, most probably ahead of the Bank of Canada tomorrow, what we might see here, we might bounce in between 31.40 and 31.30 psychological level, especially if there gonna be the disappointment because of the Powell, and we are going to see the sell-off on the Canadian, on the American dollar, so versus Canadian. As of now, that might be just the retest of last week low, and we might not get much lower ahead of the Bank of Canada tomorrow. Why? Because most probably, Canadian Central Bank will follow Fed. So we are going probably, right? We are going to hear that, okay, data dependent, one thing. The second thing, the macro global economy slowdown. So let's wait and see. So I'm not sure if we are going to see the cut, because the data, the Canadian data wasn't bad, if you remember. Few latest numbers, and the market is not expecting any kind of the cut. So yeah, we will get back into the Canadian dollar in relation to the pound and to the euro, even to the yen tomorrow, closer to the Bank of Canada rate decision. Again, just a reminder, we are going to cover that event live tomorrow, right? So let's wait right now and see the reaction post next housing data, Canadian housing data. What we have here, one moment. Building permits, minus 13%. The estimation was minus 10%. So the permits are lower. Now, there are some comments from the Trump and White House. Trump aide Conway. Trump is not going to fire Fed Chair Powell, although he has the power to do that. I don't think so. Probably they don't have enough power to fire the Powell. White House advisor Kudlow. The Fed has room to reverse the December rate increase based on price signals. All the time lately, Kudlow is trying to say that the Fed is not listening to the market. I think that Mr. Kudlow is maybe a little bit too old, and he get these market signals a little bit different, because guys, watching them, what markets is expecting after the good US data, it was always the expectations of the cut. The move was a little bit to the downside. So I know it's a huge pressure, but look, guys, there is a huge activity right now ahead of the Powell. So yeah, that's what we discussed with Michał. What may happen after the Powell speech? Most probably, it's all about where dollar will go, right? Trump is happy, let's say, with the stock prices around the high, but I think we have some sign of exhaustion. But we are going to discuss during the second part of our meeting that we are very close to the decision point, either higher or lower. We discussed this a few times previously, right? So what we are going to watch after the break, of course, we are going to have a break during the first initial reaction, but it's gonna be still 15 minutes to the early candle close. I think that the best way to try to react is to give the market some time. We need the dust to settle, and we will see where they are going to be at the end of the hour, at the top of the hour, right? That's in my opinion, that could be the key, in my opinion. Let me check if I have something in regards to the option expiration today. If I already have something. I didn't get anything yet. I will ask my colleagues to send me something. Hopefully I'm going to have right after the break, right after our break. So we have 10 minutes to go. So just briefly, right? Euro dollar is trying to recover, still inside big wide possible demand zone based on the daily chart, but again we are fighting right now at yesterday low or around yesterday low. Then the weekly open is around 1222. That's important, right? Once the bulls are gonna be able to push the prices higher, then the NFP pre non-farm payrolls levels are most probably coming into play, and that's gonna be the key. On the other hand, move and close the day below the green zone will open or will expose 11:30, 11:15. So overall, we are talking about this bottom here around 11. And from here, based on what we have on a daily chart, look here, big blue zone, possible demand zone based on the weekly chart, and the top of that zone is around 110. So it's to be or not to be from the bulls perspective, short term. If they are gonna give up 1180 based on the daily close, we might see quick move to the downside towards 110. So it's gonna be worth to watch the reaction on euro dollar and how market will behave after the Powell speech. Now, pound is weak as well. It's even weaker, but it's not about the dollar in that case, but it's all about the dollar and weak pound, right? In relation to the Brexit, also with euro pound is testing bulls. Euro pound bulls are testing 90 significant level. So yeah, either it's gonna be some kind of the pound reaction, overall pound reaction. The dollar weakness might not be enough from pound perspective to push cable significantly higher. As you can see, we are well below yesterday low. So yeah, let's have a look what we are going to have here. And the last one is of course dollar yen. And from the daily chart perspective, we are testing significant level from the supply perspective. We have some kind of the reaction already, right? We were discussing that it might be, depends on the outcome, depends on the market behavior after the Powell. It might be that bears will try to start to build some kind of the swing high reaction later during the day and tomorrow. All right. From the intraday perspective, we hit levels. We saw the breakout to the upside above yesterday high, but last 4 hours we got back into that zone. We're trying to hold that zone, but it's very thin line. Yeah, I'm very curious what we are going to get. Then within the next 50 minutes, we are going to have US cash open, and that's gonna be very, very interesting in relation to what we discuss on what we have on daily versus what we have on intraday chart, right? We are trying to recover right now, but some damage is been done on the chart. Of course, it's pre-market, and that's what we discussed this morning as well. Okay, guys, so it's time to make, almost time to make the first break. I'm gonna to monitor very closely what is going on euro dollar, what is going on pound and dollar yen. In case there is a need, either we are going to start the second part, if there are gonna be like huge move, we are going to immediately start the second part. Otherwise, we are going to be back around the top of the hour. Yeah, that's how I see the things. So at least for the next 15 minutes, let's make some changes how we are going to show the charts. Let's leave indices. Let's leave Nasdaq and dollar yen like this, maybe. Okay. All right. So guys, first time today, first time this week, bar is open. Coffee, tea, non-alcoholic drinks. And as I mentioned, if there are gonna be significant move, really significant move, if we are gonna to be closer to the pre-non-farm payrolls level, we will start second part immediately. Otherwise, if we are going to have a slow reaction into Powell, we will start the second part of our meeting today as usual around the top of the hour. So enjoy the break.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hello guys again, welcome. That's the second part of our today's meeting. It looks like we are going to make it a little bit shorter today. Why? The most awaited Powell speech today didn't bring anything. Simply, Mr. Powell didn't comment on monetary policy in prepared remarks. So there was a big cloud and completely no rain after that. So it was a calm and there was no storm, at least not yet. But what is interesting here, in my opinion, guys, it's how the White House was prepared today. Look, Kudlow, CNBC, right now, US Commerce Secretary Rose very active. So it's not surprise that all those speeches were around Powell's speech. I'm pretty sure it wasn't accident. It was not accident. Congratulations to Michał. Michał told us when we connected with Michał during the first part of our meeting today. Michał mentioned that he is not expecting any kind of big move. Looks like, at least for now, he was right. Congratulations, Michał. Now, in that case, most probably we are going to, because of where we are from Euro-Pound perspective, because we are testing very significant level, on Euro-Pound here, and overall Pound is very weak. It might be that we are going to see over the course of New York session, we are going to see continuation of the Pound weakness. On Euro-Dollar, we might see a little bit to the upside, a little bit to the downside. Nothing extraordinary, most probably because of Euro-Pound, right? And something similar in dollar-yen. There is one more thing showing we might have slow US session, slow New York session. What I'm talking about? I'm talking about the option expiration within the next 55 minutes, and there is no significant levels, no significant amounts around the current levels, just 109 on dollar-yen. As far as I have information, it's around 850 million. So that's the reason dollar-yen was rejected around 109 earlier today. So nothing extraordinary. In that case, Mer, if you are still around, we may try to go through EuroCAD. We may try to go through Euro-Aussie as well as British Pound versus Canadian dollar. So we can check these crosses simply because we have a time, simply because there are no significant moves right now on the market. So there is a time for us to try to check what is going on different crosses. So let's switch to 15-minute charts on the majors. And let's start with EuroCAD. And let's switch. Okay, let's try to make some cleanings. All right, we are on a weekly right now, and because it's weekly, so we have to change the color to the blue one. Let's place the zone somewhere here, and it's in relation. This zone here is in relation to what we've seen here, right? This turnaround. So actually it could be something like this, that white. It could be that white. Like, yeah, we have to make it like this. So what I'm gonna do this like that. All right, so let's switch to daily right now. And let's switch to daily. There was a one-way ticket to the downside. So based on this, the previous week high looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, previous week high is a key here. Because of the base here. 49. I'm talking about the bottom from the 21st of June. Well, so there was a breakdown, no doubt about it. 48.50, 49, 49, 150 psychological level to the upside, to the downside. Well, in case of, you know, if there are not going to be like, I don't know, Armageddon, we still might see lower levels towards 45. I'm not gonna be surprised to see 45 on Euro Canadian. What I'm talking about, what I mean by Armageddon, either huge risk of sentiment on the market, which might spur the rally on that cross, or don't forget we do have Bank of Canada tomorrow, and in case of ultra dovish comments we might see spike here as well. On the other hand, yeah, I think that 48.50 right now, 49, some kind of the supply level here on the daily. What I would look for from the bull's perspective, this possible swing low based on the combination Friday low, yesterday lower low with reversal, right? So we are above weekly open, we are above yesterday high. So this kind of the swing low creation. So we might finish the business around Bank of Canada and see the rally from here. Otherwise, if we are going to, looks like nice invitation, we might see move down towards 45. So anyway, the supply is higher. Supply is higher towards 49, 48.59, 49 at the very beginning. So we might see this kind of the retracement. That would be something around 50%, maybe 62%, right? When we are talking about the FEB and eventually continuation. So let's try to make the measure if from here to here, right? taking into the consideration that that was the range. Lately we had a range, so let's have a look if this type of the bounce would bring us towards the level we are discussing, almost to the pip, and that would be 45, 44.50. So yeah, the levels above 48.50 looks like supply might be very active around these levels. And based on where we are right now, I think that the bulls, conservative bulls, are waiting at least for 45, unless we are going to create swing low here and we get back above 50, retest, continuation. Yeah, it's probably easier from the bear's perspective right now here. So let's have a look what we have on the intraday chart here as well. I think this zone, intraday zone, based on Friday's price action, that's what we are testing right now, might be the key short term. Something like this. No, it has to be lower, sorry, it has to be lower, simply has to be lower. So we are testing possible supply, right? But now, if you remember what we are talking, about second ago based on the daily, about the possibility of the swing low creation over here, the green, Friday low, 46.70. So let's get back to intraday chart. Let's have a look what we have around 46.70. That's very interesting, right? Because based on the current move to the downside, hold this move to the downside, right? Around 46.70, so around this green line over here. That was the latest weakness when we are talking about the market, right? What I mean by that? Look carefully. Look carefully. Latest rising candle before we made new low. So at the very beginning, taking into the consideration that we are doing this stuff right now, all right? We had the rally, had the base and the drop because we went lower, right? So immediately of the move to the upside, we took out the high, meaning that stop's been hit. Right? So then we retest with next candle. So with this spike to the upside, we hit those stops based on this possible supply, intraday supply zone, but because of the price action we've seen here, right, it was some kind of the manipulation. So in that case, it was worth to take into the consideration that something around this might create some kind of the rally, especially that the green line over here, that's this Friday low. So once we took out this supply, we retest Friday low, and since we have some kind of the 100 pips rally right now, all right, but we hit intraday supply right now. So I would be careful from intraday perspective as we already retest this broken supply. Let's switch lower for a second. Which direction, Mayor? So that's, yeah, significant weakness was here. So I think we retest this one and trying to test this supply. Buy. It's hard to say. It's not great entry level right now. as we test supply. It might be because of where we are from daily chart and because of Bank of Canada. It might be worse. I'm not saying it's gonna happen that way, right? So it has to be clearly your decision. But because of the price action over here and because of the Bank of Canada tomorrow, the spike down to retest based on daily chart, not intraday, based on daily chart, we might see the retest of 46.70 here, right? The Friday low, because after the move back, we haven't seen the retest yet. So I would be very careful here. And then previous week high might be the target. This possible supply based on the weekly and daily chart. But here I would be very cautious, very careful, especially that right now market was trading US dollar. So not sure if there is a real reason right now to try to be long euro versus Canadian. Because there are gonna be Canadian dollar move, but probably closer to the Bank of Canada rate decision. So trying to be in the market right now, it might be some kind of the, you know, okay, I'm gonna chase the markets. I would be cautious, very cautious here. I would be very cautious. So yeah, some kind of the pullback maybe. So that's EuroCAD. Let's have a look what we have on the pound Canadian. Whoa! These guys here. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Whoa! What they did here. Jeez. You know what? Because of euro pound is testing 0.9 and euro is much stronger than pound. So in case of the selling Canadian dollar, it looks like it's the euro CAD is better choice to try to go long with that view of the Canadian dollar weakness than try to use the pound because of the significant breakdown here. That's the huge breakdown here. And that's the daily chart, and I can't see any sign of the slowdown. Yeah, already. Yeah, true, very true. So probably it's a little bit better to try to check the Aussie Canadian. We're trying to break lower here, but if we are going to build the lower shadow, if we are going to try to build lower shadow, that may be the case for some kind of the range trading here on Australian dollar versus Canadian dollar. But we need to get the close, yeah, above 91.10, because right now we have attempt to break down, and we just after the breakdown we retest this 91.10. So I would wait for a move back above. So in that case, let's have a look what we have on Euro Aussie. All right, Euro is stronger versus Aussie as well. So looks like eventually Euro CAD is in case of the Canadian dollar weakness, taking into the consideration what is going on Euro, Aussie, Euro, Pound, looks like Euro might be the better choice right now. So let's switch to the daily here. Let's have a look where we are. Wow, that's nice move back, but we are testing the range from the 1st of July. We are around the monthly open. It might be that we want to create some lower shadow. So let's switch to weekly. Let's have a little bit of the mess on that chart. I'm sorry. Everything here would be good to clean that stuff. We don't have a time. Anyway, we are right now around the monthly open. We're trying to create swing high, as you see. So here, no clear direction. So in case of trying to choose either Euro cut or Aussie cut, maybe some kind of from the medium term perspective, some kind of the diversification. Yeah, that might be the solution as well. So let's switch back to EuroCAD. And I think it's worth to be patient. And we are going to discuss this process again closer to the Bank of Canada rate decision tomorrow, so no worries. A little bit of the dollar weakness, but nothing extraordinary. If we want to compare where we are from daily open perspective, so in euro dollar we are still below daily open. Yeah, pound, no discussion here, and still above daily open on dollar yen, so nothing extraordinary. We might expect some activity from the dollar bull side around euro dollar daily open, dollar yen daily open. So I think that right now, based on what we already got, right? No discussion about the monetary policy from the Powell perspective today. We have to wait for Powell tomorrow. So we have two significant events tomorrow: Powell again and Bank of Canada, right? So trying to summarize what we already have right now. Nothing significant when we are talking about the option expiration today. We got nothing from Powell, and looks like the White House administration was well prepared. So Kudlow, Ross, both were very, very, very active. So in that case, looks like FX, either we are going to see some kind of the consolidation, or we are going to see dollar towards the end of the day stronger again. That might be the case, but just little bit, right? Without any fireworks. There is one more event later today. I'm talking about the Bullard. So we are 4:10. So within the next 45 minutes. So I do not expect fireworks right now currently, based on what we have, what we discussed. But we are going to make a break, and as usual, and we will wait for Bullard. I'm going to wait with you for Bullard. We will see where we are going to be after, because for now looks like market may want to switch on wait and see mode till tomorrow. So the last chance for us to see any kind of the movement is gonna be Bullard later on. We have 5 minutes towards the US cash open. So we are going to have, it might be the case, especially on USD CAD tomorrow, when there are gonna be like the Powell and the Bank of Canada at the same time. So we are going to have a look what we have from Nasdaq perspective. We are going to check where we are from Nasdaq perspective ahead of the open. Then we right at the open we will switch to smaller time frame, and we are going to observe, we are going to watch first 5-minute trading range on Nasdaq. So from the higher time frame, right, let's try, maybe weekly gonna be better. I think it might be. So I'm going to remove the arrows here, here, here. Might be a little bit better from that perspective. So we didn't even hit that line yet. So it's still possible. It's still possible. So from higher time frame perspective on Nasdaq, it still could be, it might be to be or not to be, right? What I'm talking about from the bearish perspective, something a little bit higher with strong rejection, right? So 1, 2, 3, go with stop count. On the other hand, the bulls are trying to build cup and handle here, and you know, straight through the roof towards, I don't know how high, 9,000 or something like this, right? Because we have to measure the whole move to the downside and cup and handle then move higher. So I don't know, through the roof, no scale here. So nothing is clear, and especially we are right now during the summer holiday. So hopefully we are not gonna get summer holiday lullaby, but you know, never say never. And in that case of the weekly chart, what happened 2 weeks ago and a week ago, so consolidation and breakout higher, right now we may treat the move currently as a retest of that level, right? And that's the pullback, that's retest. So we broke through the bottom from 2nd of July, but still we may try the top of the range from 25th of June, okay? Once we are gonna get the close inside, so if you are going to close below pre-market low today, that's gonna be challenge for bulls. Right now we are fighting, so it's to be or not to be from the bulls perspective right now here on Nasdaq. So yeah, today's low, closing the gap. So those two green lines, so this zone over here, okay, between those two lines, quite important. So let's switch 30-minute chart where we are. That's the clear supply zone. One is here, but I think that one over here is much, but been retested towards the end of the session yesterday. Those two quite important. So US cash market is officially open. So let's have a look how the first 5-minute trading range is gonna look like. All right, trying higher. There are some stops to the upside. in regards to this pre-market rally back. That's pre-market supply, so probably you are going to hit some more stops to the upside. Retest the high right now. Higher you go, stronger you fall. I wouldn't be surprised to see them trying to retest the high we got towards the cash close yesterday. So we have to close the gap, right? Try to imagine that we are talking about the cash market only, right? That's quite important. looks like right now, taking into the consideration we have a bullard within the next 40 minutes. That's the market believes in bullard. Market believes in bullard. Whoa, that looks like first 3 minutes was so strong. So we got the chance, Mer. We got the chance. Yeah, last time it was really towards the dollar. The Bullard speech. Yeah, his latest speech was in favor of dollar favor. Now it's going to be either we are going to build the upper shadow or no. In case of no upper shadow on the 5-minute trading range, then a little bit of the continuation to the upside towards those two supply levels possible. Even if we are going to make the measure, even if we are going to not to make higher high right now, but close around the high, if we are going to double that range, as you can see, we are going to hit the supply. Still possible. A little bit of the bounce on cable. Yeah, that's 30 pips. Not bad. Yeah, so it was a little bit of the rejection around the high within the last minutes, trying to break higher. So 7,800 based on my chart as a possible target here. Some stops in relation to yesterday close. That's how I see the things. As long as we are above the entry and the low from the cash market, you know, we might see some we might see market will try to fade that move, right? So we may want to hit some stops to the downside, may fade the downside the same way, right? And then based on the range finally go higher. It could be the case as well. earlier today during his speech, Kudlow said that there is no time limit for those US-China negotiations. And come on, Mr. Kudlow, you didn't discover America. Everyone knows that you need the agreement closer to the election. So there is no such a thing like, actually there is limit, something closer to the election. So you want to pump the market ahead of the election. Dear SEC, could you check White House administration, how they manipulate the market? Okay, let's have a look, because we have a little bit of the dollar weakness right now going on. It might be because of where we are on the dollar index. Don't forget there is a possibility of over-under on the intraday chart. So there is a little bit, but nothing extraordinary. And I think it's not the reversal yet, right? But we are getting closer on euro dollar to the daily open. $12.15 might be the case here. We are trying to get back above Monday low. There is a little bit reversal here on the pound as well, but here is a long way to go. And we are testing the possible supply right now. Even not yet. So watch out. 24.80, 25, yesterday low. But let's switch lower. Let's have a look where we have latest weakness. It might be interesting. But that's 5-minute chart, guys. Show me that zone on 15 as well. No, we have lower. So this one on this is from the okay, this one is from 15. So we will manipulate something, and the higher is from 5. All right. Actually, it might be that high. It looks like a little bit of the profit taking from long dollar positions ahead of the bullard. But again, last time he was dollar positive. So I don't get it right now. All right, guys. Time for a second break. In the last one, we are going to get back around the top of the hour. Then 10 minutes later, we are going to have a bullard. If there is something going on, we will try to build some plan around. Otherwise, it looks like we will have a little bit shorter third part of our meeting today. So bar is open, coffee, tea, non-alcoholic drinks, water, mineral water, whatever you like. Enjoy the break, and I'll be back around the top of the hour.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hi guys, welcome back. Third last part of our today's meeting. We are covering New York Open, first part of the New York session. For almost half an hour, New York cash market is open, and especially Nasdaq here trying to break higher. But that's what we discussed, that is possible, right? The pullback, the failure, pullback and failure to the downside, then rally didn't materialize. We simply have rally, some kind of the consolidation base and break out of that base. So 7,700, 7,795, 7,800 based on the original first 5-minute trading range possible. So that's what we discussed, especially that we are awaiting Bullard, right? Bullard was dollar positive last time. Yeah, we'll see, we will see. Now anyway, even the Bullard was positive last time. Euro dollar bulls trying to get back above Monday low, right? So there was some kind of a little bit of the tiny profit taking from shorts here, a little bit bigger profit taking we've seen here on the pound, but here we just hit the possible supply we're discussing before, plus Monday low, plenty of stuff, very, very wide, in case when we are going to take into the consideration what we've seen to the left, right? So quite wide. I'm not gonna be surprised. We are going to see lower levels closer to London fix, unless Bullard is gonna to, you know, turn around on 180 degrees and will help the bulls. Pound is trying to hold, based on the 15-minute chart, pound is trying to hold above the latest weakness. We are talking about some kind of the manipulation point, and it's also visible based on the smaller time frame, holding this also the 5-minute trading range with lower shadow. Dollar yen was trying to get back towards 108.85, 109 ahead of the option expiration, trying to hold above Monday high. It's a challenge, as we can see, but still trying to hold above. So now it's all about Bullard within the next 5 minutes. We'll see if the Bullard will move the market or no. In case Bullard will move the market, then we will stay a little bit longer trying to build the scenario. Otherwise, you know, sometimes we have days like this. Lately, we have more days like this. We have to remember about the summer holiday. So yeah, we hit on Nasdaq, we just hit supply, right? Almost to the point, as you can see. We were talking about this late US rally, so we were trying to compare cash market only, right? So at the same time, we have a little bit of the pullback here again with dollar yen. Okay, USA. So, Mr. Bullard, bring us volatility. Just a reminder, friendly reminder, Powell earlier today, nothing about the monetary policy, so No fireworks yet. As we have 3-4 minutes, tomorrow, busy day, and we are gonna be busy as well. So as usual, we start at 8. So we are going to have pre-London Open session. Then, because of the UK GDP number, we are going to cover this event live as well. It's gonna be 10:15 a.m. CT, 15 minutes ahead of the event. And then at 2, it might be postponed a bit. I'm gonna to make an update because we have a Powell. We have a Powell tomorrow and Bank of Canada. Both events are at 4 p.m. CT. It might be that we are going to move our meeting tomorrow forward. Instead of right at the open of the New York market, we might move the meeting towards the New York cash open and stay on the market a little bit longer to see the reaction. It might be the case. I'm gonna update you guys tomorrow, either during this one of those 2 morning meetings. It might be the case. For tomorrow that we will, we will move the afternoon meeting. It's gonna be postponed by 1.5 hours, for example. I think that might be. You mean Bullard, Mer? So that I know him as a huge dove. So that's gonna be huge turnaround. If Bullard is about to say what you think, he will say that's gonna be another positive information for US dollar. Not necessarily for the stock. Okay, so I'll go blindly buying Nasdaq because of the Bullard, probably. So that's what I'm calling front running. So it looks like Algar set up whatever he says, it's gonna be bullish, stock bullish. I'm joking, guys, be careful. No huge reaction yet. A little bit of the dollar weakness, but again, it might be mostly because of what we have on the dollar index chart. Don't forget what we discussed during the first part of our meeting. Over, under, possible over there. So again, a little bit dollar weakness going on, but nothing extraordinary. No fireworks, no nothing like, you know, yeah, it's like 3 pips move, 3 pips move, 4 pips move. Looks like we didn't get anything yet. Haven't seen anything yet. Don't forget, upcoming Asia session, inflation out of China. That's what Michał mentioned before. Just a reminder, that's the first 5-minute trading range, and we actually doubled it right now, okay? So I'm not surprised we see some kind of reaction. At least market is trying to react. Not sure if it's going to work like this or we are going to see a little bit more stops. Based on my charts, still some 10 points higher. I can't see anything in regards to Buller. Alright guys, so no significant moves right now, a very slow market. So there is no reason to try to watch it here unless we are going to see some fireworks. So all levels we discussed before are still valid. Again, dollar overall, dollar is strong, and all the pre-non-farm payrolls levels have to be taken out to neutralize dollar bullishness right now. Very short term time frame, that's what we discussed based on the hourly chart on dollar index, a little bit of pullback possible based on over under. So that's it from me today, guys. It was my pleasure as usual. We start tomorrow at 8 a.m. here on Liteforex Global YouTube channel. So see you tomorrow here. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great rest of New York session. It was great to be with you. See you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.